everyone, it's Emily. Today's video is going to be my top 5 best / favorite books that I've read during the spring. So I try to do those videos 4 times a year as seasons tend to go. But I like to try and let you know as I go throughout the year the books that I really love, the ones I would recommend the most. And so far for spring, I'm counting March, April, May. So in between those 3 months, I tried to choose 5 books that were the best ones that I've read, the ones I would definitely recommend the most. There are a few special mentions, and just because I'm not including a book in here doesn't mean I didn't love it. It's just I'm trying to stick to 5. And it's hard because it's absolutely insane. I have not been in a slump whatsoever because I finished 47 books, which, how is that even humanly possible? I don't even know. But I have been having like a really amazing time at reading a bunch of books. Some of them were not so great, a bunch were okay to good, and then a few of them needs to be mentioned here. Let me know if you want me to like name every book when I do those videos, all the ones that I read, or if you want me to just post pictures of my Goodreads, which if you don't follow me on Goodreads, definitely recommend you do so because you're going to be able to see all the books that I'm currently reading, and sometimes I don't necessarily remember to mention the ones that I DNF on this channel, so you can see that on there, and it's just fun to communicate there and just see everything everyone is reading. I love that app. I'm going to start by naming the only one I don't have a physical copy of because I read it from my library, but if I see a physical copy, I will definitely need to buy this because it was amazing. And it is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was such an unexpected book love. I didn't think I was going to like this book nearly as much as I ended up loving it. I did not expect this. I went into it thinking it was like literally fiction, so I just, I was just expecting to possibly like it because I had heard a few people mention how good it was. If I still sound weird, I just got over the flu. I'm like struggling my throat right now. But I ended up reading a lot more like a chick flick. By the way, if you're looking for the perfect summer read, it's the book for you. You're following an old Hollywood star, movie star, Evelyn Hugo, and she tells her life story to someone for the first time ever in order for her to write a book about her. And she goes through her story by talking about the 7 husbands she had. And I don't want to say too much because I feel like if you go blind, you're gonna like it a lot more. It's just such an amazing book because the characters are definitely flawed. They're not shown as being perfect or anything. And I'm someone that I read a lot of books, and one of my main complaints is often that I don't care about the characters. I don't care about the story. You're killing them and I'm like, okay, whatever. Especially like YA books where people are like so intense about the characters. They love them so much and I'm like, I struggle to remember their name. You know what I mean? But that one I actually cried. And I don't cry easily, especially reading books. So if you are someone that you're looking to feel all the feels, you're looking for a book that you can't put down during the summer and you're just going to really care about the story, you need to read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. By the way, all the books that I'm mentioning, I gave either between like 4 and 5 stars. I rarely, if ever, give 5 stars. So anything that is like 4 up is really good for me. And I believe this one I gave 4.5 stars. The next book is something I fell hard in love with, but I'm not sure if everyone's gonna like it as much as I did, but I just need to continue raving about it over and over again. And it is The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. And yes, the titles are so similar. I don't know why. It's coming out in the US and it's gonna be called The 7.5 Deaths. So just throwing it out there. I couldn't wait, so I got it on Book Depository, so from the UK. Because I needed to read ASAP. I always struggle to summarize this book because it's kind of complicated, but it's a mystery / sci-fi. So if you're someone that you love murder mystery and you want to go into the sci-fi genre, maybe, that could be an option. But basically you're following your main character, you're really thrown into the story, so it's going to be confusing a little bit for the first like 50 pages or so. But the main character has to figure out who killed Evelyn Hardcastle. It's gonna look like a suicide every night, like 11 o'clock, she kills herself, and he's reliving the same day over and over again until he figures out. However, he has a limit of time. He has 8 days to figure out who did it. But there's a twist to it. Every single day he wakes up in a different body. So he doesn't know who his other bodies are at that event, at that castle. Well, I say castle, it's just a big house. And there's someone in there that is trying to kill him, and then there's possibly someone there trying to help him also. So it's kind of complicated to try and explain, but definitely recommend this. I feel like a lot of people would enjoy this. I couldn't put it down. I was so confused, but in a good way. And I liked how, even though you're following the same characters in different bodies, each body has its own like pros and cons. Obviously someone may be smarter, someone may be faster, so he has to try and use their strength to try and solve the murder. So yes, I'm hoping I kind of described that okay, but love this. The cover is amazing, and in the inside, I always forget to mention, there's a little bit of a map so you can see where everyone sleeps and everything in their room. So yes, can't recommend this book enough. I loved it. I believe I gave it also 4.5 stars, but like I said, I rarely if ever give 5 stars. It's awesome. The third book is also a book that I read in March. I'm telling you, March was a really great reading month for me, somehow. So this one is one of the funniest books that I've read in a really long time. And I feel like very often people will be like, oh, this book is so funny, you need to read it. I'll read it and I don't laugh once. Like I won't even have that like, you know, loudly exhaling through my nose. I don't even do that. So I'm here telling you, I think this one is funny. You might agree, you might not agree. Humor is difficult like that. But The Humans by Matt Haig. This was awesome. This is a sci-fi with a little bit of a like literally fiction twist to it, so it definitely becomes more and more serious as you go through the book. But you're also thrown into a story. You're following an alien that is sent to Earth to try and, well, kill the person that figured out a mathematical equation that could change everything for humans, but aliens think that humans are just not ready for it. So they send said alien as a punishment to kill that guy, put on his body, and then kill anyone else that wouldn't know about that equation. And he has to live with the guy's family and just try to figure out what it is to be human. So you can see how it would become a little bit more philosophical as the book goes on. And yes, it was really funny. I just can't say much more than that, but definitely recommend it if you're someone that wants to try to read more sci-fi. I actually did put this in a video that I've done, which I will link up and down below about, I did a beginner's guide to sci-fi and this book was in there. It was awesome, it was really funny. And there is a different edition, which I always mention, that has a dog on it because there's a dog story in it. And it's not like there just to kill the dog like so many people do. Stop killing the dogs. But the dog has an important role in the book, so if you like that, definitely recommend it. So yes, definitely recommend checking out The Humans by Matt Haig. Loved it. Now in April, the first book I need to mention is a newer sci-fi book, and it is Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. And this was the most unique sci-fi I've read in a really long time. Again, it's kind of complicated to explain, so bear with me. You're following the remnant of humans that are trying to find a planet where they can live because obviously everything went to shit on Earth. And back in the day, humans were trying to colonize different planets, and one of them had an experiment on it, and they were trying to send some monkeys with a special serum that would accelerate their evolution so they would become humans on their own, so eventually humans could go there too. But long story short, the monkeys died before they even arrived on the planet, but the serum made it. So other things that were on the planet ended up evolving really fast and becoming as smart as humans. So the remnant of humans, whenever they find said planet, they kind of have to decide what to do with the other things, which I kind of need to say because I don't think it's a spoiler, because each chapter goes back and forth between following the humans and then following giant freaking spiders, which don't read this book if you're scared of spiders because you hear a lot about their little legs going on, which is kind of like, ugh. But I thought it was so fascinating to see how even the writing was affected depending on if you were following the humans or the spiders, and the ending I did not see coming, which I'm usually pretty good at figuring it out, but it surprised me in a good way, and I can't recommend it enough if you like sci-fi. I feel like I've been loving a lot of sci-fi, but so good. And then the last official top 5 book is also a sci-fi because I've been reading a lot of them, and it is The Andromeda Strain by Michael Crichton, which is the driest writing in a book I've read in a long time, but the story was awesome. In this book you're following, there's a space probe that falls down on Earth, and when it falls on the planet, it ends up in a small village and everyone dies. So obviously there's a group of people trying to take back that probe and try to figure out what happened. People kind of say that it's first contact with aliens, but it's more like first contact with a virus type of thing. And I don't want to say too much because obviously this book is like less than 300 pages. It's like just under, so you don't want to know too much about it. But if you are someone that really loves sci-fi, you will definitely like this one. But yes, warning, the writing is incredibly dry. The next two books are technically special mentions, but I just thought I needed to rave about them a little bit more. The first one is Not That Bad, which is an anthology that was edited by Roxane Gay. It's a nonfiction about rape culture and just feminism, and you're hearing the stories of multiple people, men, women, LGBTQ+, that obviously have been going through harassment, violence, sexual assault, rape, all these things, and they're just sharing their story. I actually listened to it as an audiobook, which I would recommend, and I really liked it. It was a really tough read, but I ended up giving it 5 stars, and if you are looking for a book like that or to support them, definitely recommend that read. It was great. The second special mention is also a nonfiction about feminism, and it is Dear Joelle. I believe this is the 15 Manifesto and 15 Suggestions, something like that, by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. At first, it was technically a letter she wrote to a friend to help her raise her daughter to be feminist. And okay, first off, I have a huge crush on her. She's stunning, and the way she talks, like if you ever watch an interview with her, you're gonna understand what I mean. But she just has that thing, that charisma. And she explained those concepts that can be kind of difficult to just summarize, and she does it so easily, and it's just so simple, and everything makes sense whenever she explains it. So yes, if you are looking for a quick read, because it's a pretty short book, I definitely recommend that one. It was great. So that's, guys, those were the 5 best books that I've read during the spring, plus 2 special mention. Let me know in the comment section what were the best books that you have read in March, April, and May. Let me know also if you have read any of these, what you thought about them. Are you planning on reading them? Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and not miss any future videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.